What's happening? It's your boy DMA with a God of War Ragnarok no upgrade run Berserker challenge. I'm going to start things off with a dose of my reality and what I've been dealing with. Yep, one-hit kills. That's the pain of this challenge, and there are workarounds for that. But first, I'll explain the rules and what I do and don't allow. Hardrefill and the next Berserker, Freakney, were done during my storyline challenge. If you're interested in watching that, I'll have that video linked in the description and at the end of the video. I go through all the bosses, and it was pretty fun, with the exception of the two Drakey fight. My therapist and I are still working through that drama. This is the first Berserker in this challenge, and because of how Berserker tombstones are accessed, I'm going through Berserkers based on level of difficulty and accessibility at this point. Harðrefill isn't the easiest Berserker, but he is the first I came across. Some tombstones are accessible after you finish the main story, and after Freakney, after that video is uploaded, I'll upload videos based on difficulty. So the rules for the Berserker challenge are the same as my storyline rules. No upgrades to weapons, shields, armor, runics, relics, skills, Spartan Rage, or anything that requires experience points or expands health and rage bars. I will use Winter's Bite and the Talisman of Mange as those are forced into my arsenal. But they will not see any upgrades, nor will Freya's and Atreus' abilities and skill trees. Freya's summon, her sword, Atreus' bows, they will not get anything. Atreus' summon is not forced into his stats, so his summon slot will remain empty during his involvement in this challenge. Also, no accessories allowed for Kratos, Freya, or Atreus. The Dark Odyssey armor piece will only be worn since they have no perks or stat boosting attributes. The resurrection stones are allowed. Disposable items are not stat boosters, and I will allow them in this run. So basically, if anything affects stats and make the player stronger, it doesn't have any place here, unless it's forced into my arsenal in the game. So the first thing I want to talk about are Hardrefill's phases. There are 3 phases. At full health to 50% health, when he launches himself in the air like he's doing right now, he will do 1 single pounce. At half health to a quarter health, he'll do 2 pounces in a row, and about a quarter and under, he does 3 pounces. If you're comfortable with dodging the pounce the way that I'm doing with iframes, this is a great way to sneak in some offense as he's gearing up for a second or third pounce. Aside from the pouncing variables, Hardrefill is pretty straightforward. As far as my defensive tendencies, you've probably noticed I'm avoiding any sort of parries and blocks, and I'm opting for what's classically known as the electric slide strategy. One-hit kills are stressful to work around, and at least for the first Berserker, I pay no attention to the white bar and decided to not optimize my defensive capabilities. This was simply me trying to understand if this was something I wanted or was capable of doing. I could have made this a quicker video, but all of my efforts were placed on the offensive as well as evasive maneuvers. So electric sliding your way from attacks might work for Hardrefill, but it won't be a viable strategy for the other Berserkers. But if you're going to use it, make sure you're sliding against the sword swing. Going with the swing, it could bleed into your iframes. Now, in terms of offense, I found the axe to be superior to the blades for a couple of reasons. I had access to Winter's Bite, that's one, since that was forced in my arsenal through the game. And the heavy axe combo would stagger Hardrefill. He could jump out of the combo in mid-stagger, and he could start up and attack before the third hit, but being able to lock him in for most of the heavy combos was a good way to find a rhythm in combat. If I found myself completing the heavy 3-hit combo, I would switch up to light attacks to get in as many hits as I could before I could retreat to start up an attack. I wasn't able to successfully evade the aerial dash, as you just saw. When that happens, I use my Spartan Rage to knock Hardrefill out of his attack animation and give myself a chance to recover. If you have Fury Spartan Rage, like I have in this video, this will only work if you have a full meter of rage. If he stuns you for a second time, like this, and your rage bar is not full, well, you're going to have to pop that resurrection stone. But yeah, at this point, Hardrefill is at quarter of a health, which triggers the 3 pound stage. And you probably noticed I used Freya's summon. At this point of the story campaign, you have Freya and her summon come stock with her. Atreus doesn't have a summon for that. Freya's much better for this challenge than Atreus, even if the cooldown for her summon takes forever. I choose to activate Rage when I need it for recovery purposes, not for an offensive boost. When you're dealing with one-hit kills, the recovery is more important than the tiny boost in offense that you get with Rage. When you're far along in the story to acquire the Wrath Spartan Rage, it might work out better for recovery purposes. At default settings, you get 2 bars of Rage to use instead of having to depend on filling up the singular Fury bar. But yeah, there it is. His blueprint is pretty simple. Easy to dodge attacks, clear attack queues, a good starting point to get a grasp on dodging the pounce attack because a lot of the other Berserkers love to use it. So getting a good handle on the timing is going to be crucial for this challenge. And per my usual, at the end of the fight, I show the difficulty, I give a rundown of my gear and lack of skills. I think I would have invested the time to learn how to parry and block in this fight. It would have been a more interesting fight, but you know. But Frankly did force me to learn and lean on parrying, and that's going to be in the next video, and I'll see you then.
Did these warriors wrong you at some point, Mimir? You're quite agitated, even for you.
No need to rehash ancient history if it's all the same to you.